fellow Humble Baddies. We are back from Turks. It is Breast Cancer Awareness Month.
My mom was like, y'all ain't having sex.
I just feel more comfortable teaching my own kids about their body because you never know what that teacher in particular is, their preferences are.
Come here, little Timmy. Let me show you how.
Hey, Ma. I called you out in this episode. I feel like I'm parenting my parents.
I gotta tell y'all a funny ass story.
Tell us.
So y'all know I'm from Alabama, and the best classic is the Magic City Classic. If you know, you know.
I get in my way, never out of my lane. Feel like you the one and I'm on one. So what it's gonna be? Baby, squad up. We finna go deep. Riding on a team. Got what you need. Baby, won't you keep me company? Give me something to do when I get lonely. I got something for you when we get home. If you let me put it down. When I hit the town, you should ride on.
Ladies and gents, fellow Humble Baddies, we are back
And daddies.
from Turks. And daddies. Because y'all really be showing out. What's good, y'all? We are back from Turks.
We back. Only for a short period of time.
Only for a short period. But Turks, we made it back, and we are back in one piece, and we're here to bring y'all all the baddie news. I just want to say thank you for tuning in. My name is Alexis Welch-Stoudemire.
I'm Ashley Nicole.
And I'm Sharelle Rosado, big real, not the little one.
And we are the Humble Baddies. It is October, and it is Breast Cancer Awareness Month. I just want to start it off by asking the ladies, have you all been checked?
Well, you getting straight to it.
Yeah, I'm getting straight to it.
Well, ask when was our last
Let's
annual exam?
Okay,
It's not
so
just about breast cancer. You got to
That's
check
right.
everything.
Yeah.
I agree with you. You
You're
know,
right.
health is crucial.
It is.
So let me repose the question.
Mm-hmm.
When was your last annual checkup?
January. I go that's my New Year's thing, like the checkup. So I'll go to the gyno. I'll go to my my doctor and make sure everything's done. But I actually tried to go get a mammogram. Like I'm not 40 yet, and I know they say like at 40 you're supposed to start, checking, get mammograms or whatever. But I
Right.
have a history of breast cancer in my family, so I was like, maybe I should just go ahead and check, and they would not give me one.
They said you too young.
Really?
Yeah. And I guess I could go to a private place or whatever, but your health insurance doesn't cover it until you're 40. And I just
Correct.
thought that was really interesting because I'm trying to stay up on my health and do what I'm supposed to do. And the
Right.
people was like, no, ma'am, that's
Right.
today.
My last one, I usually get mine every March. So my last one was in March. It was good. Everything came back good. They teach you how to do the self-care. I know how, and I teach my daughter. But yeah, everything was good.
When was yours?
I actually am coming up for mine. Mine is in November. I do it right before winter. And so I am 41. So I got my first breast exam last year.
And how was that?
It was propelled. It was good. It was nerve-wracking at first because we're starting to get in our age group where we're starting to know people who, one, have been diagnosed, and two, are passing away or going through different chemotherapies or different. We're just in that space now where I feel like we know somebody.
Yeah.
So it was a little nervous for me because it's like the unknown.
Right.
And it wasn't until really low key when I got my breast augmentation, they forced me to get one on top of the fact that it is time for me.
Okay.
So now I'm coming up on November of getting one, and it'll be another annual check.
Okay, so tell us, because I've heard it's uncomfortable, it hurts, the machine is cold, they smash your titty.
Everything
Is
you
it really
said,
all of that?
All of the above.
Really?
All of the above. Yes. They take your breast and they literally put it in a machine and squeeze it. And it is cold. It is uncomfortable, but it's quick. It's not like it's
What
a
happens
long
for
time.
people who have
Implants. Same thing. You mark that on your chart. You say, yes, I have implants, but the technology now, they can penetrate through that and still see if there's anything going on. And so, and you get your results back quickly, not the same day, but I want to say within a week or so, especially if there's anything wrong. But I think it's imperative that we take the time to really, one, listen to our bodies. And if you're not old enough yet, And I know we have some humble baddies out there that are not of age yet. There are self-exams that you can do because you want to know your body. You want to feel your body, know if anything is changing.
Mm-hmm.
I've even heard stories where like partners have found lumps because they've noticed the difference in their lady. So, and I don't want to discriminate. It's not just a female thing either. It's also male and females that need to get checked. So make sure you let someone know.
Yeah.
Find out, where you can get checked. These centers are becoming beautiful too. And when I say beautiful, they're becoming more warming and inviting. It's not so in-your-face doctor. It's very cozy because people are coming there to get checked. A lot of them are coming out with bad news. A lot of them have to go.
Or it's too late.
It's too late. So, they're making it warm. It's making it comfortable for you to go and be like, you know what, this is normal. This is a part of my health.
Yeah.
And it's very imperative that we do
It's
that.
crazy though, because I feel like everybody knows somebody who's been affected by breast cancer, but we still don't really talk about it that much. Like we still don't really, I feel like, push, getting checked, doing our exams, making sure we get it done. Like, I think it's something that affects all of us, and it's still kind of like on the back burner. Like, yeah, like make sure you get checked. Yeah, we have Breast Cancer Awareness Month, but I just think like we should talk about it more. We should, it should be a part of a checklist that doesn't just happen, once a year when you turn 40. Like this is something, I feel like as women, it should be more in our everyday, like how we go to the dentist and, that's more common. We make sure we go get our teeth cleaned, but we
not everybody, because
you're supposed to go get your teeth cleaned. Okay. But you know what I'm saying? I just feel like it should be a conversation. It should be something, a part of a checkup
very
that
habitual.
happens more often.
Very much becomes part of your routine.
And I think it's everything. Not only breast cancer is a big issue, especially in our culture, it's cervical cancer. They don't talk about it. And I don't know where the fear is when it comes to our generation going to get checkups and
until there's a problem. Until there's a problem.
But even if it's a problem, I done been around some people that just, you can smell they're older, and it's like,
go get that fixed.
It's not common. That's not common to smell like that.
Yeah.
So
yes.
It smells.
But
That's
go
true,
get
though.
checked. Like if you're out here doing unprotected things,
and you notice something about your body is different, you should definitely check it out.
Even if you don't notice, just go get checked. It's not.
And to your point, being a single female, like, I asked them to check me for everything, and
shit, I ask them too, and I ain't single.
Well, but I'm just saying that in general, like it's changed, you know what I mean? From being married to now being single, to the point where I'm still educating myself, like go down that list, you know what I mean? Make sure I'm straight, as well as my children, educating them, like, it's a deterrent for me because I'll Google something in a minute and be like, you sure you want to be doing this? Because this can happen. This is what it's going to look like. Your pee-pee can fall off. Like, I try to put that fear in them, but I just wanted to normalize them getting checked for everything head to toe.
And I know, even though my kids wasn't sexually active, I still took them to the doctor to get everything checked before, and they started the HPV shots.
I was gonna say that's another thing,
because it's 3 processes, so they give it to them automatically now. So
isn't that like 15,
16? 15.
Okay,
and
but
then
what is that? Because when we was younger, we didn't have to do all that, and it's like, are these things necessary? Like you tell me, because y'all kids are older.
Yes.
Like, so I'm not there yet with, these things that, you have to do with your kids. But I just don't remember, when we were younger, these are not things that we did. And is it like because, science and technology has gotten farther, or is it like big pharma just finding other ways to, inject themselves into our lives?
I was in the country. Shit, we weren't going to know because my mom was like, y'all ain't having sex. You ain't doing all this. So I wasn't going at 15. Shit, I was, running track, bringing my ass back home and doing all the other things. But it's different. Like I'm more involved on the health side. Like I grew up from the old South. If something was going on with you, take this or ain't nothing like old remedies.
Like that quick fix.
The quick fix. But
I think it's a combination of all of the above, big pharma, as well as the technology. it also is an influx of, I feel like, with technology of like social media and access, as well as the point that we are voicing going to get checked. It's more common, it's more hip. It's trendy to not just mentally get checked, but like your whole body get checked. And with the HPV virus, it's preventative. So long-term wise, if your child is sexually active, things like that. And I mean, by no means am I a doctor. But this is for them to prevent them from having X, Y, and Z viruses that are way harsher to get rid of than like your common, your common whatever. So I think it's good to like have these conversations with your kids. Like I have 3 teens. So like we have those conversations, their body is changing. It gets to the point when you go to the pediatrician now where my oldest, we're not even in the room. She goes on her own. She makes her own appointments, and she can set up her own everything. You know what I'm saying?
That's the same with Ariana, my daughter. She's 18 now, so.
Yeah.
And then, so it's that, so they answer questions that you don't know the answer to.
Oh, I know all the answers.
Well, we know the answers, but
listen.
they start putting them to the side. They're like, they're able to be more comfortable with the doctor and maybe not comfortable with a parent. So I like to educate them early. And they do that in class. Like I had to do a permission slip for my 5th grader when he was a 5th grader last year for them to have that sex education. Yeah. So it's permission of the parents.
They gave y'all permission?
They gave us permission.
It was, you had to take it.
Yeah.
But I feel like they don't teach it as much now.
But they do.
We were growing
up. The school that my children go to, they do. They're teaching them about yours is different than mine. Don't let anyone touch this without permission, like things like that. And like also their bodies are starting to change at that age. So they're teaching them like, it's okay that your voice is dropping. It's okay that you have hair under
and
your
I'm the
arms
parent that's like, no, I'll teach them that.
Yes.
I would be the one that would be like, no. I would sign no. I don't want them a part of that class. But that's a whole nother conversation.
I don't mind them. I said yes.
I'm not saying that type of teaching. I'm saying like about STDs and
it is older.
I'll talk to my own kids about sex in their bodies. Like I don't know, because you never know what that teacher in particular is, what their preferences are, what their bias are, how they'll word certain things. Like, so for me,
let me show you. Come here, little Timmy. Let me show you.
I just feel more comfortable teaching my own kids about their bodies and their sex, education. I feel like I can handle that. I've had sex. You know what I mean?
And it goes hand in hand. I'm very open with my children about it.
Yeah.
At home too, but I'm also very honest about it. As well as that second or third layer is also the educators or the doctors that are coming in to teach them about the medical terms. That way they can be like, you know what, mama was right. She, dad know what he's talking about.
I don't need
you know what I mean?
Miss Johnson, the PE teacher, telling my baby about the birds and the bees.
High school, y'all didn't have like the sex where they had the
condom?
We
did.
The baby, you took the baby around.
That was in 7th grade for us.
And
I didn't take that course. I didn't want to have no
and
crying
that's exactly why, because I had
took the egg around with you.
Miss Johnson trying to tell me about the birds and the bees, and she shouldn't have been. So I'll take care of that. But okay, aside from the kids, because I'm not there yet, my kids are not at that age yet. For me, it's my parents. Like, I feel like I'm parenting my parents now. And like, when it comes to their health, I'm always like on them, like telling my mom, like, you need to exercise, or you can't eat that, or did you get this checked today? Or what's your blood pressure doing lately? Like, I feel like I'm on her, you know what I mean? Like, and she's so stubborn, Yvette Roberts. Like, man.
Don't do Miss Yvette like that.
I mean, that's my baby, but
no, she did not.
I did call her out.
She watched every episode. And don't worry, Mom,
she heard you too.
Look, Yvette. Okay, I'm gonna call you later, and I'm gonna make sure you went for your walk today. Okay, but like that's where I am in life right now. Like my dad, he was diagnosed with prostate cancer, and so I'm always asking him like, how are your numbers doing? Like, and he's always giving me updates, and I'm always like telling them, like, you shouldn't eat this, you should try this, or take this supplement. You know what I mean? I feel like, our parents, they are a little older, so they're a little stubborn. And technology is always changing. And, we're getting new information. And they don't always, like, stay up to date on stuff. So I feel like as their daughter, and, since I you know, trying to stay hip and learn more about health myself, like, of course, I need to pass it on to them. So, yeah, I'm parenting my parents.
I feel like it's a lot in the foods, too.
Yeah, the
Food
foods
has
have changed
a lot, and it's causing so many different types of cancers.
Correct.
It's just, it's sick. It's like,
Yeah.
I want to move to another country where I ain't got to deal with that
Everything
shit.
is fresh. Everything
Yes.
is grown. I understand.
It's crazy.
We have all this extra additives.
Now they got the
and
fake
stuff.
chicken, the imitation this, imitation that. It's weird.
And we don't know long-term effects.
We don't.
We don't.
Shit, we know what it is. It's causing cancer.
It's a lot going on. It's a lot.
Yeah.
You know, to your point, Ashley, like my mom, I feel like is a hypochondriac. Is that the word?
A hypochondriac, yeah.
Yo, she'll watch something on TV, look something up on social media, and be like, oh yeah, I need to go book an appointment right now. Let me go get this check.
Yeah.
Or like she'll change her diet. She's like, cranberry juice.
She be watching them documentaries and then be like, you gotta change your life now. Like, you gotta change everything we eat.
Yes.
Yeah.
So she goes to the doctor. She takes care of herself. She's active. Like,
I like that though, because that's better than like a lot of people do the WebMD. You know, you go on WebMD and then it'd be like, you gonna die tomorrow. Your leg gonna fall off. You got cancer. I mean, I do sometimes.
You do? I don't.
Well, I either do the WebMD. I say, what does it mean if, you know, like y'all
go
don't do
through
that?
the question.
Yeah, and then usually it say like, you gonna die tomorrow. You
I
got
call
cancer.
my mom.
It always, but that's good. I call because she a nurse, right?
Yeah, she's a retired nurse.
Yeah, see, that's good. I do have a friend that is a nurse, and she was a nurse. So I'll call her. She like my doctor on call. So it's good to have those people in your life.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Because I would probably be the one that start looking stuff up too, just out of curiosity.
But we don't need to do that. We need to make the appointments like your mama.
Exactly.
Yeah, but my mom, it'd be every day. She'd be like, yeah, I'm going to get this check. Oh, I'm like, Mom, didn't you just go do that like last week?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, just last month. I'm like, all right, well, you got it.
Yeah, it is good though to have those people on call. Like you can just call and get some medical advice. I always call Kodra. She always has all the answers.
That's good.
You got your mama, and your mama gonna make the appointment. So we good.
I'm not gonna self-diagnose myself, baby. If she can't answer, I'm going straight to the hospital. What's
to
going
the
on?
ER.
Yeah. Hilarious.
Yeah. Okay,
Yes.
so October is such an amazing month.
It is.
You know, we definitely have to make sure we are aware and doing, you know, our monthly checks. But it's also about fun.
And it's about Sharelle too, because it's my birthday, bitch.
Oh, see, all this going on in October. We got
always bring
Sharelle's
it back to you,
birthday.
bitch.
Yes,
Breast
National
Cancer
Boss Day,
Awareness.
National Sharelle Day,
Yes.
October 16th.
Oh.
Okay, and we turn it up next week. We're going to have a ball in Turks again. Y'all
We're back
coming?
to Turks.
Y'all
Y'all
better
can
come.
watch, subscribe to Humble Baddies, and y'all see
No,
all
y'all
of
don't
the
want to miss
Humble
this. Y'all need to come to Turks. Come to Shisha Lounge and hang out with us while we
Period.
celebrate Big Rail.
Yeah. No, it's a lot. It's a lot going on in October. Like
it's a lot.
The leaves are changing. You know, in some cities because here in Miami,
Halloween.
Halloween.
It's
is
homecoming for a lot of
It's
HBCU.
Yes. Yes.
Ooh, speaking of.
Oh,
Speaking
y'all,
of-
wait. Before we get into it,
What?
I gotta tell y'all a funny ass story.
Tell us.
So y'all know I'm from Alabama, and the only classic, the best classic, is the Magic City Classic.
The Magic City
If you know,
Classic.
you know.
It's the only classic.
No, it is. It's lit.
Look, they about to see. They about to get.
If you
lit.
know, you know. Magic City Classic. Be Ham. Stand up.
I went to college in Alabama too, so I was there,
Yes,
and it is lit.
it's lit.
I agree.
So my first time going by myself, I was 16. I had a job at Taco Bell. I was working double shifts, playing basketball and running track. But I was running up a little check. So at 16, you thinking like
You rich.
you rich.
yeah.
You thinking
You
like
wildin'.
my check was like $736.
Yeah,
I thought
that means you was putting in that
I
overtime,
thought I
sis.
was balling.
You got money.
Balling. I go to Wells Fargo. That's the bank I had at the time. And I was like, yeah, I need all my money, cash my check. I don't want to deposit nothing. I'm going to the Magic City Classic, blah, 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 blah. Got my fix and whatever, had my cash. We go up to Magic City Classic. We go up, drive up, and we in the mall. And, you know, I swear I'm a hustler. back then I swear I was a hustler. They doing the little cup things.
Where they're trying to.
You got to pick where the top at.
So you gambling.
The
you gambling
hustlers.
with
The
your Taco
hustlers,
Bell
by
money.
the way.
I'm gambling with my taco. That's
The
all
street,
the money
the
I
street
got.
hustlers.
That's all the money I got. So I'm winning,
Stop
and I'm
it.
thinking, they let me win or whatever.
Oh, so you was winning and you didn't know when to stop.
But
Didn't know
she's
when to
probably like
stop.
double or nothing. What'd you
Didn't
do?
know when to stop, and they ass got me. Took all my money.
They was like, thank you for playing.
Time out. So what happened? Did you end up going to the classic? Because you were supposed to have a fit. You
just
tried
ended up
to
going a little
double.
broke.
I
that
had my
700.
fits or whatever, but still, like, I had my cousins. They looked out for me, but they cussed my ass out.
You're like,
They
you
cussed
gotta
my
hustle.
ass out big time. They
I
said,
bet
"We're gonna
they
teach your
did.
ass a lesson." But they took. I wanted to cry, but I had to be a G. I couldn't cry. I was like, "These motherfuckers, y'all big grown ass taking my money."
They
So
saw
never,
you.
when you out there at them classics, stay away from them people with the tops, because I had to learn.
Keep
the
all
hard
your
way.
Taco Bell money in the Wells Fargo account. Okay.
I went to a classic before. It was the Bayou Classic. It's the one.
Okay,
It's
yes.
Southern versus Grambling in New Orleans, and that was
Mhm.
fun. That was my first experience of like seeing the college life, and I went with an older sister, so like I was not any age appropriate to be at any of the festivities.
Yeah.
So I didn't get to see that, but just to see the battle of the bands and
It's
to see
something.
and just to see all the alumni coming through and
Yeah.
just all this Black excellence. It was just so
All the sororities and the
amazing.
fraternities.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
sororities and the fraternities.
Yeah.
And just like how just everyone is just happy to be educated and happy to be back and showing their
There's literally-
colors and just
There's nothing like it.
Yeah.
It's like you are in a place where you're not the minority anymore.
Right.
It's like it's an experience that you're just not going to find anywhere else. To be in, Black excellence like that, Black educated excellence like that. It's different.
best.
My parents went to North Carolina A&T. And
Okay.
so,
I went to that classic too.
now
That's
they
a
they
good
have
one.
It's a
a
good
great
one.
homecoming. Their
Yes.
homecoming, like if you ever talk to anybody that's an Aggie, they literally like they think they have the best homecoming. And I agree, it is second.
It's second.
It's second
It's
to
okay.
my alma mater, Tuskegee University, the prestigious Tuskegee University. But I just knew I was gonna always go to a HBCU. Like
Yeah,
for me, like my parents had me at a young age going to North Carolina A&T, going to the
and
homecoming.
that's called legacy, right?
Yeah.
Or something like that. Right?
Yeah, I
Okay.
thought I was gonna go to North Carolina A&T, but I wanted to pursue an education, like go to veterinarian school, and Tuskegee has a veterinarian school, so that's why I ended up going to Tuskegee.
That's why we see Willer's Wildlife.
Exactly.
Exactly.
It's still
Thank
still
you.
going. It's still
It's still
going.
going.
Tune into Wheeler's Wildlife on my Instagram at Ashley Nicole, please. It is very wild experience.
It
You'll love
is.
it.
I'm gonna have to have you start coming to get some of them iguanas in my yard.
I love all the animals.
No.
But anyway, so it's crazy for me though, because homecoming is coming up and I really look forward to taking my kids just like how my parents took me. And now I struggle because Phil didn't go to a HBCU. He went to Georgia Tech. So he's not all excited
Understand.
like I am. Like he doesn't get it. And so, of course, my son wants to be just like his dad. So I'm like having to tell him, like, no, it's dope at a HBCU. Like, he's like, yeah, but no, I want to go to a D1 school. Like, it's all about the sports and everything like that.
I think that's the biggest thing, and I think that's what Dion was trying to change when
That's
he
right.
I love
got
that.
into it.
I love that too.
Because it's hard we want our kids, especially when they're good in sports, to go and support those HBCUs,
Yeah.
but the funds are not there.
The
Correct.
funds
And
are not
it takes
there.
more. Like Dion did an amazing job
He
when
did.
he was where he's at, but
Yeah.
it's hard. It takes more than one person. So
It is hard. But it's still like my argument in the conversation is that, like I said, you will never get to experience being at a HBCU. Like you will not be able to get that same experience is what I should say,
Yeah.
of being the majority, of being around like-minded people, around people who you can relate to in all kinds of ways. Those other colleges will always be there. Like you can go to those other private white institutes, for your master's degrees and your other degrees. But getting that experience, to me, like it's priceless. It's more than just the education.
Mm-hmm.
It's a legacy. It's our traditions. It's our history. You know, Tuskegee, the actual campus, is a national historic monument. You know what I mean? You're not going to get that anywhere else. There's stories. There's the buildings that we go to class in were built by former slaves.
Yeah, that lineage is.
That's why I tell my daughter
impeccable.
we actually have a visit. She's going to FAMU.
Mm-hmm. Love that.
I love it
love
too. I'm
that.
excited for her.
That's
She's
so
like,
exciting.
Mom, I want you and Chad to take me there for my. I'm like,
That's
girl,
nice.
Yeah.
So she's going to FAMU. Unfortunately, I couldn't experience the HBCU. I did.
But do you think you would go to a HBCU?
Of course. I mean, I
Okay.
enrolled in classes at Fayetteville State University, but I was in the military, so I couldn't
Yeah.
experience the full
college experience.
experience because I had a route. It wasn't about me anymore. It was about Ari.
Yeah.
But I know the atmosphere. I was there, like
Yeah.
going to the homecoming. So all my friends went to HBCUs, graduated. They're nurses, doctors, and they're killing it.
Yeah.
Fraternity. So she want to do all that, but
Yeah.
I'm like,
Yeah.
do it because I missed out.
Yeah.
But I did get to experience a little of it. But I'm gonna support my baby. She's going to FAMU.
That's exciting.
That's,
You're gonna be at Fam
amazing.
homecoming.
That's exciting.
My baby gonna
With
be a
Ari.
little rattler.
I love that they also like just the influx, and I'm not gonna blame it all on Dion as he's the reason, the spark, but I think it's beautiful that even the alumni, the illustrious alumni, are giving back to their alma maters. Like you see, like at FAMU, for example, they have put in more money into like their arts department and the gyms and the gym, you know, just the sports have been elevated. And now you see like your first gymnastics team that is now being funded. But I just think it's beautiful that the alumni are going back and giving back to the community as well as the students, because I feel like back in the day, you always heard that it didn't have the quite accreditation as a predominantly white university,
Right.
or they didn't have the infrastructure, or they didn't have the access to like extracurricular whatever.
Yeah.
So it's good to see that now funds are being donated and that the opportunity is now on an even playing field.
Yeah, it is. It's getting there. I definitely see it when I go back to visit. Because when I was at Tuskegee, my dorm, we didn't have no air conditioning.
Ooh.
Yeah, like the dorm that I lived in was like one of the first dorms built for women on that campus. Like, and they didn't do many updates since it was built. So it should have been condemned, honestly. But it's those things that really made us like who we are, like that experience of like thugging it out.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I hate that it's, you know, a thug it out type of mentality, but
Right.
I would say that it made me feel like I could make it anywhere. You know what I mean? And I don't have to have like the best of the best, you know, to thrive. Like I can really like
Adjust.
yeah, I can adjust to my, you know, surroundings. I was away from home for the first time. My parents they were like, girl, I didn't think you was going to make it. I thought as soon as we dropped you off, you was going to be calling us to pick you up because, you know, it wasn't the best of the best. But now when I go back, I love to see that, you know, they have new buildings and, you know, they have new departments and the education is just getting so much better. I love that.
Yes.
But yeah, so.
But I understand, like, you know, do you all feel like college is the only way out now when you're talking to your children? Like, okay, if you're doing sports, D1 is the ultimate, like to get a D1 scholarship, that's like the ultimate goal. Or do you feel like, you know, it is like there's military as an option?
I'm dealing with that situation now. So gratefully, my kids get to go to college. If they choose to go to college in the state of Florida, they go on for free.
And that's through military.
Because I'm a service disabled veteran service disabled veteran. So
So that's a
That's
benefit.
a part of a benefit.
That's
Yeah,
a
yeah,
big
that's
benefit.
yes, that's
Wow,
a
what
benefit.
blessing.
So with my daughter, she wants to go to college. I'm going to support her and push her. My son, he's at that age. He's in the 11th grade. He don't know if school is for him, and I support him. You don't because there's a lot of owners, there's a lot of successful people who don't have a degree.
I agree.
You can still get your degree if you go into the military. And I push him okay, if you don't want to go to college, what do you want to do? Is there a certification you want to do? Do you want to get your CDL license, be a
Yes.
truck driver? What do you want to do?
Trade schools,
Whatever it is, I'm going to support you. But I don't
Whatever.
want to pressure
Mhm.
college on him and put him in debt if he don't
I
want
agree with
to
that.
go that route. So
Yeah.
I agree with you,
and
Sharelle.
and the
You're
thing
right.
about it with the generation now, they're making money off with
TikTok.
everything. Yes,
Anything.
exactly.
There's the entrepreneurship side.
Yes.
I feel like I was gonna say that, like, you know, each of my children have their own paths. I'm like
Yeah.
you. Not all of them are academically sound. You know, I wouldn't want to put the pressure on them to be like, you know what, you have to go to school. School is expensive.
Very.
Granted, we did make sure that they have savings so none of our children will have debt. Like, that's one of our blessings and gifts to them. Once they go to school, they can go all the way through with no debt. So it's like, you know, what are you deciding you want to do? What is it that interests you that you can focus on, get accredited? Because I feel like school is not for everyone.
It's not.
And the people who should go to school are obviously like our doctors and our lawyers and
Right.
people who need to, I mean, I'm not saying, like, by no means, I'm not telling people to not go to school. I'm saying there's so many other outlets that you can choose to decide what is good for you, because you have to do the work. You have to go back. And this is coming from someone who did start at a predominantly white university, but then I have now re-entered back into school where I'm paying tuition. I have FAFSA because I'm in chef school. So like that is a whole nother level, which is an opportunity that I didn't know I had back then. You know, now my interests have changed and things like that. And I know people now who are not even in their field of work that has nothing to do with their
and
degree.
they're full of debt.
And
I feel like I feel like
that too.
that was the thing back then. Like, you must go to school, and it's pushing people to go to school, and they don't know what they want to do. They haven't decided on their career. Now you got a whole bunch of fucking debt, and you're not, for a degree that you ain't even fucking using.
Yeah.
You got a psychiatry degree, and you over here running your own business.
Yeah.
Doing something else.
Well,
crazy.
I feel like, you know, I agree with what y'all are saying, but I think I would still push my kids to go to college at the end of the day. Like, I mean, of course, you know, there's other avenues, there's other, you know, things that they can do. But I just feel like school is always like a good fallback, you know, just in case that doesn't work out. You know, you have your degree, you have something that you can lean on just in case, you know what I mean? Now, obviously, if they already have everything figured out and it's like going well, I wouldn't like push it on them.
But who really has everything figured out at like 18?
That's what I'm saying. So I just feel like I just feel like, you know, school, it's just kind of, I wouldn't say go in debt for it, but that's why I feel like as parents, we need to like stay educated on the different options that there are, you know, like the savings plan. I think like the 529 plan. You know, there's so many grants and scholarship opportunities and things that we can do to prepare. I feel like, you know, like when I went to college, I didn't, you know, when I was about to graduate from high school, I don't really remember having many conversations about how we were going to pay for college. I just, it was like, yeah, you going to college. I knew that part. You know, I knew that's where my parents were pushing me. I knew that's where I wanted to be, but we never talked about the part of
financial part.
Exactly. We didn't talk about finances. So I think as parents now, you know better, you do better. So now I'm at a younger, when my kids are younger, I'm already thinking about like, okay, I want them to go to college.
Absolutely.
You know, they might not necessarily be thinking that, but in my mind, like you said, you have your kids are already, you know, set up for college. And I don't want my kids to go in debt. You know what I mean? For, you know, whatever dreams they have or whatever.
Taking out all these loans.
So I think it's on us to prepare ahead of time. And everybody can't do that. You know what I mean? But if you can, I think we should start when they're younger. Start the savings plans when they're young. Look into the scholarship opportunities. Look into the grants.
Absolutely.
It's so many out there.
It's so many options.
Exactly. And then just to have the school, I'm always going to just feel like you can fall back on it at the end of the day. And it feels like I don't use my degree right now. You know what I mean? But I don't know. maybe.
But I'm about to go back to school because I want to be called Dr. Rosado.
Okay.
I'm going back to get my doctorate degree.
So yeah, like I just feel like, even though I don't use my degree though, I'm still very much into it. Like y'all see me, like
Yes.
I
You have that knowledge.
I have the
general
knowledge and I fall back on it all the time. You know,
Absolutely.
it's an actual interest of mine. So I
Yes.
don't feel like it's wasted.
I feel like
I don't
mine
think
is
it's-
wasted.
Yeah.
I mean, I have, I don't do HR anymore.
But low
But
key
it
you
helps
do.
you.
But low key you do.
Yeah, you do.
It helps you because you're
I
personal.
do, but it wasn't my degree that got me there. It was my experience, the military. I mean, I was HR in the military. So,
Yeah.
I mean, the Lean Six Sigma, I'm a green belt. I don't use any of those
I see.
certifications. I don't use none of my college experience. It's my hustle mentality that
Yes.
got me.
It got you
where
where
I'm
you-
at.
So the school of hard knocks is where
School of Hard Knocks
is where
is where-
Sharelle graduated cum
Yes.
laude. No,
Okay.
but low key life experience, because I have been in rooms with your X, Y, and Z people that have all these whatever doctorates, and you're right, it is about like your social skills. It's about like putting your best foot forward and learning, like just communication and organization. But I feel like that's what college is too. It's time
an
management.
experience. Yeah.
It's about who you're forming yourself as a young adult, an adolescent. Like
Yeah.
you're really understanding what it's like to be from the house and now being on your own, paying bills, and
Yeah.
there's due dates and there's delinquencies and all these things. So
But I feel like still, even in college, kids don't understand that. It don't hit them until they got their degree. Not all those student loans are kicking your ass and everything is falling on you. That's when reality hit.
yeah.
But they still feel like
Well,
that.
I think for the kids who have everything like hand fed to them on a silver platter, I think it hits them. But a lot of people go to college and they have to figure it out on their own.
They
Their
have to figure
parents
it
couldn't
out.
pay for their college. They
Some
had
are
to have
working
they working through
part-time,
college,
work study.
or like not everybody is afforded the opportunity to just not work through it. Because I feel like I went to college, I didn't necessarily, like I went on an ROTC scholarship, and I didn't never plan on being in the Army. And so
What
it
the
was
heck?
like a
That's-
rude
I'm
awakening
still
for my
trying to figure
ass.
out what made you go on the RT. Like what? Because
Girl,
I know your
you
dad
have
was
That
in the
means if you go
military.
on
Let
a
me tell
ROTC
you.
scholarship,
'Cause
just
I
break it down to us. That means you have to be in the program.
Yes.
Yeah.
And
To keep your scholarship.
Let me tell
Yeah,
y'all.
but I'm trying to see how the hell she end up where she.
I'm finna tell you. This is how it happened. I wanted to go to college. And like I said, we never had these conversations of how the hell I was gonna pay for it.
Yeah.
And my mama was like, "You want to go to college, right?" And I was like, "Yeah." She was like, "Well, you need to sign this paper right here." And it says, if you sign this paper, they're gonna pay for your school, but you got to go to the Army afterwards. And so I was just like, okay, like I'll just do whatever she said, because
Because your mom was in the military too, right?
My mom, she did ROTC. My dad was in the military. So I was just like, okay, it's cute, whatever. I just do whatever she says, So I signed the paper. Also, I was, getting other scholarships. So I had been writing essays, doing everything else.
was getting
to get,
checked.
All them checks. Yeah, them checks.
So I was like, okay, I'll figure it out later. So come to find out, I ended up deciding I wanted to go to Tuskegee, and I needed basically to get this ROTC scholarship to go to that college because it's private, it costs more, blah, blah, blah.
Right.
So my mom was like, all right, if you want to go to Tuskegee, then you got to do ROTC. So I was like, okay, I'll go see what it's about. So I did my interviews. You had to do a whole bunch of interviews. I'm great at interviews. Like I can ace an interview like that.
You
So-
made sure you brought your resume.
I brought my resume.
Make sure you bring your resume.
I was very prepared. So anyways, next thing you know, I'm in ROTC. They like, you got to show up at 5 o'clock in the morning for PT, ready to go. And after that, you got to go to your 8 a.m. class. And it
man.
was very real, like a slap in the face for me. And I couldn't rely on my mama. I couldn't rely
But
on,
it taught you discipline.
it
and
taught me
structure.
discipline. I mean, it taught me a lot of shit. I mean, it literally slapped me in my face. It was like, this is real.
I wasn't ready.
I was not ready. But even going through all 4 years of ROTC, I still didn't think I was going to be in the Army. For some reason, it just wasn't clicking in my head.
You're like, I'm just doing this
I'm
while I'm
just
in
doing
college.
this. And then when it was time to graduate and I put that hand up and read that oath, they was like, yeah,
It's time.
you a lieutenant.
Lieutenant Ash.
Yes.
What was before Wheeler? What was it? Lieutenant
Roberts.
Roberts.
I was Lieutenant Roberts. And it was, I mean, like I said, it wasn't, I had to learn. I had to grow up. Like as soon as I was a freshman.
Yeah,
and
because
I was
now you got people up under you.
Yeah. No, but I mean, even in college, like as a freshman, like I had to learn to be on time somewhere.
Yes.
Like I
No
had
one's waking you up.
responsibilities. Yeah. And
That's
then,
the same thing
no one's
because we
telling
had
you
the
to do your
same
work.
when 18.
Yeah.
Get your ass up, toe the line,
Yeah.
and run 5
And
miles.
then imagine being a college student, you up all night partying, and then I got to be at PT at 5 o'clock in the morning. You know what I mean? And then I got to go to class at 8 o'clock in the morning. Like I was tired. Like it was a learning curve, and it was a slap in the face. But it made me who I am today.
Yep.
And all of those experiences, you know, it's an experience.
It is. It is.
Yeah.
I wouldn't change it for the world.
Yeah.
What
I
I
wouldn't
would do.
either. I resented my mom too a lot, a long time. For
Now you get it.
Yeah, I'm so glad. But for a long time, I just was like upset because I didn't see myself being in the Army or being in ROTC. You know, like everybody else is partying for the weekend, and I got to go to Fort Benning for the weekend and be doing drill and doing night land nav in the middle of the woods. Like I didn't see that for myself. My college, I'm like, what is this? Why am I in the woods right now?
Boy, the
like,
shit we
with
signed
a
up
map
for.
and a flashlight. Like what is happening?
The shit we signed up for to get us to where we at, I wouldn't change it for
I
the
wouldn't
world.
change it either.
Well, we
Cheers
call
to
that survival of the fittest, right?
Okay.
I know that's
Can
right.
y'all imagine me like in the woods, pitch black, like with a flashlight and a map
Hell no,
and a
bitch.
compass?
Hell
I
no.
can.
You can?
Yeah, I can.
I can't.
Because
I can't even see myself back there.
Really?
Girl.
I can.
No.
Yes, like that's when it really slapped me. That land nav ain't no joke. If they
ain't.
drop your ass in the middle of the woods in the pitch black.
Bitch, let me tell you what happened
And you
to
gotta
me.
figure it out.
You
So
gotta-
Let me tell you,
Bear
I seen a
Grylls.
big ass snake when I was doing land nav. I hauled ass. I threw everything.
Girl,
If I see them up for
at
this.
Fort Benning, them wild boars be out there making
Everything
loud
be
ass
out there.
noises.
I was like, I cried. I was like, please, I'm scared of
So they
snakes.
dropped y'all off, and you had to basically
Yes.
make your way to whatever.
And if you ain't paying attention,
First of all, you have to know how to read a map.
okay,
yes. You got to know how to
Because you have
rotate
to
it.
plot your points on your map, first of all. Then you have to use a compass to get from
north,
point,
south, whatever.
Yes, to get to each point.
You got to see where you at where you standing, like making sure I'm.
And you have to count your foot. Like it's a whole thing.
Is there a time limit?
There's a time
Yes,
limit.
there's
It's
a
a
time
test.
limit.
So that's the whole.
You're
test.
out there for hours, for like 5 hours.
No, we had a time limit. I think it was like 3 hours for us.
I think day is 5 and night is 3.
Ooh.
Yeah.
And so you had to basically
You have to
you had to
find
end
your
up at
way.
base, or you had to end up wherever. The
And find your way back. Yes.
Sounds
And so
like
then-
some survival of the fittest for me.
So that was my
Yeah.
college experience that I did not know I was signing up for, and
Thanks,
I was mad at
Mom.
my mama for a long time about it.
But look at you now.
Yeah, look at you now.
Look at me now.
All
Thanks,
right,
mommy.
ladies. All right, ladies. We got
Yes,
some humble baddies mail.
What we got?
What we got. What we got.
I mean,
got.
after these last few episodes, yeah, y'all been putting the mail on the comments.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? But it's
Yeah,
all good.
shout out to the Humble Daddies, because
Yeah, 'cause
they've been
the
leaving a
daddies-
lot of comments
the humble daddy
and
they're not so
opinions.
humble though.
And I love it. Keep tuning in and keep letting us know your thoughts.
So the way you can reach out to us for the Humble Baddies mail is go to humblebaddies.com and submit your request, and we read them all, and you might get picked to be submitted on a show. So please continue to send those to us. We
Yes.
love those.
Okay, we got one today from it's coming from Beverly. She's from Louisiana. Okay, Beverly from Louisiana.
Hi, Beverly.
Okay, hey, Humble Baddies. I just want to say I love your podcast. Thank you, Beverly.
Yes,
girl.
thank you.
My friends and I never miss an episode. We're always tuned in every Wednesday. Okay, girl. I don't have a question, but I do have a fun request for y'all.
Okay.
Can you mimic each other?
Ooh.
Beverly, can you mimic each other? Sharelle, I love to hear you do Ashley. Ashley, you got to do Alexis. And Alexis, you got to do Sharelle.
Oh,
I know
man.
it's not a question, but we would seriously crack up over that.
Oh my God.
That's pretty funny. Okay,
Sending
that's
love
fun.
to all of you, a loyal fan, Beverly from Louisiana.
Okay,
Okay, Bev,
Beverly.
you with all the shenanigans. Okay.
Who's gonna go first?
Let me get in my acting bag.
Okay, so because the tribe.
This is supposed to
Okay,
be
I'm
me.
just gonna let you guys know. Like we've been doing this. Okay, we've been doing this. The tribe. We go way back. We do everything together. We have Shabbat on Fridays. And we very much are co-parenting, and it's great. You know what I mean? And so this is just it's legacy. And as far as I'm concerned, we will continue on this path. And because I have one in boarding school, and then I have one in college, and then it's just me and the boys at home. And because the tribe, we're always gonna make it. It's gonna be great.
And that's that.
How'd I do?
You did good. You did good. That's me.
You going next?
Oh, great. That was some big shoes to fill right there. Coming after Ash. Look at Ash. She knows she got it. She nailed it. Sharelle. How y'all gonna have me out here looking like this? Who ordered the salmon? Because what we not gonna do?
Wait, how say salmon?
Salmon with the L.
Salmon.
But
She got you.
She did.
She got you.
now I done came too far to be acting like this. Now y'all need to get right, all right? Get right. Get right. That's all I got. That's all I got.
This is Ashley.
Oh my God.
I mean, because if you leave your wallet, you're not a leader. I mean, you're not a leader. That's like.
Ew.
Not the faces.
Where he at? Because it's hot. Who's bringing the stuff? Because I am the queen of the castle. Who?
That's me. That's me.
All right, Beverly. We fulfill
got us acting
everything.
in our acting bag. Okay.
Thanks, Bev.
We love you.
All right.
Until next time, thank you guys for tuning in. We love you guys. We support you guys as much as you support us.
We appreciate y'all.
We're going to be here for always. We thank you guys. Make sure you subscribe to Humble Baddies on YouTube, all social platforms, and follow us on Instagram. Until next time,
Yes.
we out
Thank
this
you.
bitch.
Love you.